The year 1914, a year that would forever change the course of history. A sunny, seemingly peaceful summer in Europe. People were enjoying the warmth, unaware of the storm brewing on the horizon. Beneath the surface, however, tensions simmered between the continent's great powers. The air was thick with unease, as if the world was holding its breath. Nationalism surged, empires jostled for dominance, and a complex web of alliances set the stage for a conflict of unimaginable scale. The political landscape was a tinderbox waiting for a spark. Then, on June 28th, a shot rang out in Sarajevo, Bosnia, a single event that would cascade into a global catastrophe. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, was assassinated by a Serbian nationalist. This act of violence was the match that lit the fuse. This singular act, seemingly insignificant in the grand scheme of empires, would prove to be the spark that ignited the First World War, a conflict so devastating that it would forever be known as the Great War. The world would never be the same. Within weeks, the intricate system of alliances kicked into motion. The machinery of war began to turn, and there was no stopping it. Austria-Hungary, seeking revenge, declared war on Serbia. The dominoes began to fall. Russia, bound by treaty to protect Serbia, mobilized its vast army. The gears of war were grinding into action. Germany, allied with Austria-Hungary, viewed Russia's mobilization as an act of aggression and declared war on Russia and its ally, France. The conflict was escalating rapidly. And when Germany, in a strategic maneuver, invaded neutral Belgium to strike at France, Great Britain declared war on Germany, honoring its pledge to defend Belgian sovereignty. The world was now fully engulfed in war. The world watched in disbelief as the armies of Europe marched off to war, many believing it would be a short and decisive conflict. They could not have been more wrong. Little did they know that they were entering a horrific new era of warfare, one marked by unprecedented carnage, technological advancements, and the slow, agonizing collapse of empires. The Great War had begun, and it would leave an indelible mark on the world. The First World War was more than just a conflict between nations. It was a seismic event that reshaped the global order and altered the course of history forever. It was a clash of empires, each vying for dominance and survival in a rapidly changing world. Each empire had its own unique motivations, strengths, and weaknesses, which played a crucial role in the unfolding of the war. Understanding these empires is crucial to grasping the war's complexities and its far-reaching consequences. The intricate web of alliances and rivalries set the stage for a conflict of unprecedented scale. The British Empire, a global behemoth, entered the war with a powerful navy and vast resources from its colonies, which spanned the globe. Its naval supremacy was unmatched, allowing it to control vital sea routes and supply lines. However, its army, though professional and well-trained, was relatively small compared to the massive conscript armies of the continental powers. This disparity would become a significant challenge as the war dragged on. Germany, a rising industrial giant, boasted a formidable military machine. Its army was well-trained and equipped with the latest technology, including advanced artillery and machine guns. The nation's ambition for a place in the sun, greater power and influence on the world stage, fueled its expansionist ambitions. This drive for dominance would lead to aggressive military strategies and significant early successes. German propaganda played a crucial role in rallying the population behind the war effort, with leaders like Kaiser Wilhelm II stirring nationalistic fervor and a sense of destiny. France, still smarting from its defeat in the Franco-Prussian War of 1870–71, sought to regain lost territory and prestige. The memory of past humiliation drove its determination to stand firm against German aggression. Its army, though not as large as Germany's, was known for its tenacity and fighting spirit. French soldiers displayed remarkable courage and resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. The Russian Empire, a sprawling giant stretching from Eastern Europe to the Pacific, possessed the largest standing army in the world. This vast manpower was both a strength and a logistical challenge. However, it lagged behind its rivals in industrial capacity and technological advancement. The Russian military struggled with outdated equipment and inadequate infrastructure, which hampered its effectiveness on the battlefield. And then there was the Austro-Hungarian Empire, a patchwork of nationalities held together by the aging Habsburg dynasty. This diversity was both a source of strength and a cause of internal strife. Weakened by internal divisions and ethnic tensions, Austria-Hungary's decision to punish Serbia for the Archduke's assassination proved a fatal miscalculation. This act of retribution set off a chain reaction of alliances and hostilities. Dragging the empire into a conflict it was ill-equipped to handle, Austria-Hungary's involvement highlighted the fragility of its political and military structures. The war would ultimately lead to its disintegration and the redrawing of the map of Europe. The Western Front, stretching over 400 miles from the North Sea to Switzerland, was a vast and deadly expanse. This line of trenches and fortifications became the defining feature of World War I, a place where millions of men would fight and die. It became synonymous with the horrors of trench warfare. Here, millions of men faced each other in a nightmarish landscape of mud, barbed wire, and relentless artillery bombardments. The conditions were appalling, with soldiers enduring constant shelling, sniper fire, and the ever-present threat of gas attacks. Germany's initial advance into Belgium and France was halted at the Battle of the Marne in September 1914, a pivotal moment that prevented a swift German victory. This battle marked the end of mobile warfare on the Western Front and the beginning of a static, entrenched conflict. The war on the Western Front descended into a bloody stalemate, with each side digging in, constructing elaborate trench systems protected by machine guns, artillery, and the terrifying new weapon of chemical warfare. These trenches stretched for miles, creating a formidable barrier that was nearly impossible to breach. The introduction of machine guns and heavy artillery made any attempt to advance extremely costly. Chemical weapons such as mustard gas added a new level of horror to the battlefield, causing agonizing injuries and deaths. The soldiers lived in constant fear, knowing that death could come at any moment. Battles such as Verdun, the Somme, and Passchendaele became etched in history for their sheer brutality and staggering loss of life. These battles were characterized by their high casualty rates and minimal territorial gains, highlighting the futility and devastation of trench warfare. At Verdun, the longest battle of the war, French and German armies clashed for months, resulting in nearly 700,000 casualties for a few miles of ground. The battle became a symbol of French determination and German tenacity, with both sides suffering immense losses. The Battle of the Somme, intended to relieve pressure on the French at Verdun, became a symbol of the war's futility. Despite the massive artillery bombardment that preceded the attack, the British forces faced fierce resistance and suffered heavy casualties. On the first day alone, July 1st, 1916, the British Army suffered nearly 60,000 casualties, the bloodiest day in its history. The battle dragged on for months, with little to show for the enormous loss of life. The Western Front devoured men and resources at an appalling rate, with neither side able to achieve a decisive breakthrough. The soldiers endured unimaginable hardships, living in squalid conditions and facing the constant threat of death. No man's land, the area between the opposing trenches, was a desolate and deadly expanse. Failed offensives left the ground littered with the dead and wounded, a grim testament to the futility of the conflict. The stalemate would continue for over 4 years, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the devastating effectiveness of modern weaponry. The soldiers' endurance and bravery in the face of such overwhelming adversity remain a poignant reminder of the human cost of war. The Western Front, with its endless trenches and relentless battles, stands as a stark symbol of the horrors of World War I and the enduring spirit of those who fought there.